Hello, everybody. I am Vicki.
I'm Mikka.
I'm Unique.
I'm Ericka.
And welcome to Hump Day Tee. Today's edition, as you can tell, is all about the witchcraft. So I think that today is an amazing, beautiful day for this topic. Love everybody's backgrounds. Y'all look fierce. So who would like to head off this discussion about witchcraft? Let's do it this way. How about one person pick a topic, pagan or Wiccan, and then somebody else will take the other, and then we'll all just discuss what witchcraft means and is to all of us. Sound good?
I can start.
Good.
Go ahead, Mikka. We're all ears, honey.
When I was younger, I told me to investigate religion. It worked for me. So I looked into religion. Whole religion, whole theory behind religion makes sense to me. Wiccan believes that there's more than one God. You have the God of the moon, God of the sun, God of the earth, God of everything. And they all have, what is the word I'm looking for? They all work together. They all create one ultimate. So unlike where Christianity and Catholicism says we have one ultimate power, Wiccan says that everything's united into one bigger power.
Right.
Bigger power without the small little elements that come from it.
We're having a problem with the audio.
You might have to leave the room again, Vicki.
What was that, honey?
You might have to leave the room and come back in.
Okay, give me 1 second.
All right. Do we still have an echo?
Sadly.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I don't hear an echo anymore.
I don't either.
All right. Well, then leave the room. So, but as I was saying, Wiccan believes and they teach that you have a god of earth, a god of air, a god of water, a god of fire, a goddess of the moon, god of the sun. And without one of them, then the ultimate power, the ultimate God, the one that they all kind of create and they all kind of work for, doesn't exist. So it makes sense to me. Wiccan also believes that if you take from the earth, it's back. So if you cut down a tree, you bury a penny. Something simple as that.
Right.
You give when you take.
Right. I agree. I think you're right. Antonio says witchy women. Woohoo! I love getting on my knees. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Well, that was like a turn.
Okay, y'all, I've known Antonio since I was like 15.
So, oh, Lord. So I think
I've known him since I was 15. He's gonna say some things, ladies, that just pay him no mind. He's a sweet, dear man. I love him dearly.
I think
man, he got a.
I will. Oh, anyways, bitch. Anyways, God, Jesus. So I think for me, I dabbled a little bit in the Wiccan side. I mean, don't get me wrong. I actually have dabbled a lot in everything. There's some people that are born with talents. And then there's some that just take on the responsibility of learning what witchcraft is. For me, I was one of those people that had it naturally. Back in the day when I was a teenager, I was all about seance, and I was all about binding people. And to be honest with you, it wasn't until I did real research into it that I thought that everything I saw in the movies, like on The Craft, was real. I soon realized that was definitely not what witchcraft is. And, Victoria needed to step back into reality for a minute. However, Mikka, let me ask you something. As far as you seem to know a little bit of information, probably more than us, but maybe Ericka does know something. As far as I know, for me, I thought that when you dabble in witchery, that when you dip into the pagan aspect, that's more of the dark side, and the Wiccan is more of the light side. Is that correct?
So pagan is a little bit older than Wiccan.
Okay.
When you get into pagan, you're talking old Celtic religion.
Okay.
So Stonehenge and that kind of stuff. To me personally, I think Wiccan derived from pagan. Wiccan was an easier way for the pagan religion to stay after the Christians came through and pretty much took away all the holidays and made them Christian.
Uh-huh.
So Wiccan was an alternative to pagan. Pagan has multiple gods, multiple gods, and pagan it's Celtic. It's a whole other ballgame. When you get between pagan and Wiccan, I believe they're two majorly different things.
So, do you have some knowledge on what the exact difference is between those?
I am not even going to pretend that I do.
What about you, Ericka? Do you know anything?
As far as I know, honestly, you know what? I'm not even gonna pretend that I know like all the technical differences. I've always thought of them as pretty much the same.
Okay.
They have the same beliefs.
Kind of like Christianity and Catholicism.
Right, exactly. That's what I was going to say, Mikka. It's kind of like, it's kind of like Christianity. Absolutely. Wow. Mikka, so, Unique, what's your take on this?
I actually was like, I tried dabbling in it when I was younger, and it's just another form of Christianity, and it's one of the oldest forms of Christianity, and
right.
They all pray their own gods. Each god is for something different. And, as a matter of fact, there actually is a holiday coming up.
Really?
Is it an adult thing? I think it is. Why is it so echoey?
Not sure, honey.
Oh well. So I mean, everyone believes they believe, and so I just it's up in the air, to each his own.
As any religious belief should be. I believe everybody should find what works for them and practice and just live by what you believe.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Wiccan, it's harm none and believe in the threefold effect. So what you put out in the universe will come back to you threefold, good or bad.
Amen. It sure will. It sure will. I've heard of that too.
I'll be right back.
Everyone else calls it karma, but that is the threefold effect of Wiccan.
Right. And it's true. It really is true, and it really does. And you don't have to believe in witchcraft for that to happen to you, because that is a real thing, and it really does happen. And you are right. A lot of people call it karma. That is not karma.
And Unique, no. I just looked it up. The next Wiccan holiday is Mama's. It's on August 1st. It's a harvest holiday. Marks the harvest. It's associated with the earth, plant life. The holiday is meant for personal and spiritual growth. So if you're a fan of green witchcraft or other herbal magic, this is a holiday for you.
Oh, wow. Huh. Interesting.
Look up Wiccan. Get a book. There's a Wiccan for beginners. It's an easy read.
Right.
I promise you, you read it, it makes sense. It makes so much more sense than some of the other religions.
And there's so many of them nowadays. And I'm not making fun of anybody. Please understand that. I mean, no disrespect. It's just that there's a lot of religions out there right now. And
everybody's freedom.
Everybody's differently. I mean, Nowadays, people get offended over the smallest things, so we've got to be very careful, you know?
It's true.
So, you know what? I think, Mikka, give us a little bit of what you think is good juju and bad juju as far as spells go.
Well, okay, so as far as spells go, personal gain is always bad. You want to do any kind of magic that's going to benefit you. You know, I mean, again, it falls into you give what you take, and if you're doing something just to get, then that's bad. That is where the threefold effect will come back and bite you. Always give back what you take. So if you put magic out there asking for a job, well, then while you're praying on it or you're doing your spells for it or whatnot, be helping other people in the process, because that's ultimately what the magic in Wiccan is. It's basically a good heart, it's a good soul, and it's putting love out in the universe.
Right. I like that. I like your view on that. Very true. What about you, Ericka? How do you feel?
Honestly, I'm a firm believer in you. I agree with Mikka. I'm a firm believer in you get what you give.
Right.
That's why I do so much work for the community, because at one point or at some point, I'm going to need help, and I'm going to want that community out there to help me.
Absolutely.
I want to do what I can to help the community while I can. As far as spells are concerned, it's
like praying.
Let's put it this way. You can't expect to walk up to a bear and try to feed it without it or try to pet it without it biting you back.
Ain't that the truth?
Versus a dog. You can walk up to a dog, pet it, and you know it's going to love it. You got to pick and choose very carefully which spells you do and what you want to happen.
So Antonio is, he says he loves using totems and candles. So Antonio, what about the totems? I should not even be asking this because I feel like it's going to be an answer I don't want. So what do you exactly love about totems? And I am aware of herbs and arts on East Colfax. It does have great energy. You're right about that. What do you think unique about herbs and arts on East Colfax?
You know what? Herbs and art with that, you know, it's in ancient of the old times, it's a form of medication. You know, so I say I'm for it. I enjoy it. I cleanse my house with sage all the time. Get rid of them evil spirits.
And do you believe that works?
Yeah. As long as you believe in it, you know, how do I say it? If you speak it out, it manifests itself. You know, and if you believe in it hard enough, I think it does actually cleanse. You know, it puts a better juju in your area.
What about you, Ericka? Do you think that sage really does work?
Actually, I know it does.
Give me an example. Give me an example of how you know it works.
When we first moved into this place, there was a little girl downstairs. She liked to, she was rambunctious. Let's put it that way. One night, I came home and my boyfriend was saging the house. I jumped in and I helped him sage. Ever since then, she's been very calm. She hasn't bothered us. She knows now that we live here. The upstairs is our area. She can have free reign of the basement. She's totally fine. She's a sweet little girl. But she doesn't bother us anymore.
She doesn't? That was going to be my next question to you. Do you find that being an issue or a problem? What about you, Mikka? How do you feel about sage?
I think it smells like ass, personally.
Yes, I'm not the only one,
but I believe it works. It honestly, the house we're in right now, like where my studio is, we have a little spirit down here. She's a little mischievous. She doesn't really mess with anything.
Uh-huh.
But I hear her at night. I can hear her on the floor because my room is right above where I'm at right now, so I can hear her moving around down here.
Oh, wow.
But it's one of those. When we moved in and I felt her presence, I had my sewing room in another room down here, and it was one of those. Look, I know you're here. Don't mess with stuff. Leave me alone, and I will leave you be. You know, if you want to fight, trust me, I'll win this fight, baby. I can banish the soul out here quick. Don't play.
Hello.
Burn up some candles and say a little prayer. You'll be gone. And she hasn't messed with us.
You know what's funny is that when we came up with this subject, that's awesome, Shelby. I'm glad. You should believe in that. When we came up with this subject about witchcraft today, I was excited and hesitant, but excited because I have experience in it and because it's such a fascinating subject to speak about. There's so many things to talk about with this subject. Don't you agree?
I do. I totally agree.
If spirits are not violent or have evil intentions, I let them stay. Otherwise, I force them out. Amen to that. Get rid of those evil spirits.
I gave her one warning. That was it. So you're not going to talk about this again.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God. So, girls, guess what time it is?
Oh.
What time?
It's Unique's favorite time of the day. We discuss your favorite show, Unique. What are we talking about now, Unique? What are we talking about, Unique?
We're going to talk about RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yes. Get us started, girl.
So I watched this past week. Actually, I watched it right before we got on here because I didn't have time to watch it this past weekend.
Good for you, bitch. I'm glad you're fucking keeping up with the Joneses.
Girl, this whole week has been a mess for me. So trying to watch that and balance out with the child here and all this other garbage is going on in this apartment. Girl, I was surprised I actually got in what I got in. So, yeah, I was like, there was, what was it? Prom? Their prom looks?
Uh-huh.
Girl, they were cute. I like most of the prom. Most of them.
I think Cracker
I don't know
was
about Miss, what was her name? Miss Cracker? I'm not sure I liked her.
Cracker?
Not sure I liked it.
Oh,
I thought it was cute.
But,
let's go through all the girls. Let's go through. I think because there's only 6 left right now, I think it's perfect for each of us to have our little opinion. Start with you, Unique. Tell us what you think about the girls that are still in the show.
I think I would say actually, you know what? Who's your top 3?
Who you asking?
Mikka.
So
who's your top 3?
My top 3 is Cracker, Juju, and I'm still kind of torn. I want to say, I honestly really, really, really want to see Shay make it to the top, but I'm afraid she's going to make it to the top and fall again.
Yeah.
Vicki?
I mean, something as simple as rose petals coming out of a wig took you out of the competition on your season. What do you think Juju can do? This is not Juju's first time at this rodeo.
Okay, it's what, her 4th?
Right.
3rd.
Vicki,
right?
how about you? Who's your top 3?
Well, so mine, no surprise at all, is of course Juju B, Shea Coulee, and if I'm being honest, I mean, I'll give you a 3rd that's in there now, but I'm kind of fucking pissed that Mangina got kicked off the show. Like,
you have both.
Like a season 1 queen. We have not seen a season 1 queen on All Stars since season 1 of All Stars. And, Angina had the ability to kill it. And it really sucks. So I guess my 3rd person would have to be
Ooh.
You know
Good
what?
choice, Antonio.
I got to be honest with you. I don't have a top 3. I have a top 2, and that's Shea Coulee and Jujubee. That's it. That's who I want to win.
But I do.
Ericka, how about you?
So my top 3. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to say Shay, because she killed it at Flava Flav.
Yes, she did.
She did. Yes.
Like,
That's
she
Snatch
had
Gang.
me and my boyfriend rolling the entire episode.
That was intense.
And then her banter with Jujubee during the entire thing.
Oh
So
my
those
God.
are my top 2, Shay
That's
and
the-
Juju. And then
I
I'm
won't
gonna
say
have to
nothing.
say Blair St. Clair as my third.
I do like
Blair?
Blair.
That's good. She's pretty good too. Now, see,
She is.
I would say
She is.
something, but I know I've seen the spoiler alert, so I know who's the top 3. So I'm not gonna say anything. I just want to see what y'all were gonna say.
No, I've already.
But-
I've already.
Vince, I want to see
I've already
who's your
seen it.
top. Vince,
Who's my
who's your
top 3?
Yeah.
If I didn't know this, if I didn't know my spoiler, I would have said Shay, Juju, and Shay and Juju for sure.
So, of course, Antonio says Cracker, Juju, and there it is. There it is. There's my third, Blair St. Clair. I kept forgetting.
Antonio would say
I
that.
love
Antonio,
some
you would
Blair St.
say
Clair. Antonio, you've got to be on crack, though, because Miss Cracker is a fucking cunt. I do not like
But you know what?
That's why
She is
that's why
original.
She's not in my top 3. It's because
She
her
is original, though.
attitude.
And from what I understand, we have not seen the end of Cracker. She has 2 more wins coming.
And yeah, she really does. So
Don't be spoiling
another
it,
question.
you fucking bitches.
Well,
My third would be my third is Miss Cracker. My third would be Miss Cracker.
Ew, stinky. Gross.
Hey, what can I say?
So we've got
Now-
the line right here.
Right.
Oh, for fuck's
Here's another
sake.
question. Here's
Then
another
that's
Now,
question.
I'm drawing a line of sand, and that fucking line of sand has been drawn, bitch. Ericka,
Yes.
Ericka, lead us into our next subject, honey. What are we
I have
talking
one more
about?
question.
Oh,
I have
Jesus.
one more
Don't
question.
want to talk about this boring ass show with these boring ass queens? No. Go ahead.
If you made it to the Snatch Game Challenge, what character would you be?
Oh, good question. Okay. So if I
Mikka?
get a Snatch Game, it's not no lie that everybody knows. I would
You
clearly
said
do
Celine Dion, I'm punching in your throat.
so. That would be who I would do. I would clearly do Cher. What about
Okay,
you?
if you're gonna say Celine Dion, I was gonna come through this phone.
me?
Yeah.
I would do Dorothy.
Yeah.
Huh.
Eric,
Come on, Ericka. Come on,
I'm
Dirka,
going
Dirka.
to think about this one.
Dirka.
I would probably do Marilyn Manson.
Who?
Marilyn Manson.
Oh, bitch. Wow. Really?
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What about you, Unique?
You know what? It's a toss up between Whitney Houston and even though she's been overly done. You know what? I would do what is her name? She played on Reno 911.
Oh, Niecy Nash.
Oh, God.
Thank
Niecy
you.
Nash, bitch, you would
Flowers.
kill me.
She's one of my favorite actresses. I actually love her.
I'd have to do Niecy Nash.
Ericka,
Yeah.
question.
Answer.
If you were to go on Snatch Game and do Manson, how would you make RuPaul laugh doing Marilyn Manson?
Ooh, good question. That is a good question. Yeah, because we know it's all about making them laugh.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Marilyn ain't not make nobody laugh.
There's a way. There's a way.
I mean,
There's
maybe
gotta be a way.
pull a rib out of your shirt or something.
Pull a rib out of my
Oh,
shirt and put
bitch,
it
a
on
rib
me.
out your shirt. Now that'd be original.
Pull the rib over here and one of them back this side.
Out of my mouth. I'm digging all these fucking backgrounds. I can't stop.
That's mine.
Hey, ladies, guess what time it is? It's time for a shot.
Ooh,
Cheers.
do I have to run and get the
Cheers,
vodka?
cheers to you. Here's to me.
Best friends we will always be.
There you go.
If we should ever disagree, screw you. Here's to me.
Yes, kid. There's about 4 times now I put the netting of my hat into my mouth to take a drink. It's been really awesome.
What is you going? Is you getting married or you going to a funeral?
Ericka, oh God, bitch. Ericka, take us into our next subject, girl. What are we talking about?
My hair.
Oh,
Your hair?
okay. Because your hair looks fierce. Work.
Oh, she's a
No,
little
really,
heavy.
what are we talking about next, Ericka?
What's that?
I said, no, really, what are we talking about next?
Well, let's see. What do we talk about
If
next?
you don't remember, really, right now, it's just anything. So I want you to pick a topic and let's just talk about it. It's free time.
So, actually, I've got a question for everybody.
Okay.
I want you all to name one positive thing that happened to you that it will help enrich your life going forward this week.
Ooh, start with Mikka. I'd love to hear her answers.
Oh, yeah, sure. Come to the bitch who has the most confused look on her face first. That makes total sense.
Exactly, because I can copy you, bitch.
I honestly, I don't.
Nope, don't even say I don't know, bitch.
Like, I haven't had anything bad happen in the past week. It's been a pretty chill week here. Google something real quick. Fuck.
Having problems there, Unique?
I'm sorry, I was yelling at my child there for a minute.
Come on, Mikka. Come on, Mikka. Come on, Mikka.
I guess, okay, so one good thing that's happened to me this week was I figured out green screen filming and editing with green screen. So that's going to open the door for me to do music videos of my own, which
Yes.
is, you know, if you've ever seen me perform, God only knows what I'll do with a camera and a closed door. So it could be interesting. I might have to do that
Green fabric.
YouTube page.
You tell her, girl. I'm going to have green fabric all over my fucking house.
Oh, I already planned on buying concrete paint. I am painting this whole basement green, and I'm going to go working on the garage next. I'm going to have 2 studios. It's
Yeah.
nuts.
Oh my God, I love it. I actually, I know you girls know, but I actually spent $320 today on a brand new laptop just so I could do this green screen stuff with you guys today. So I'm pretty excited about it. Fucking laptops, I know. It's the price of a car payment nowadays. Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay, who was next? I'm sorry.
Let's go Unique.
Yes, Unique.
One positive thing that happened to me, I got my tubes tied.
Oh Lord.
Now, why would you do that? Do you know how rich you would be if you got pregnant?
Hello.
You know, I wouldn't tell you if I was to get my hair done. Y'all would never know.
Oh.
Trust and believe that one.
I want that payday.
We do love yes.
Let's see. Just paint green. Oh no, girl. Painting it green doesn't look right. You got them holes in there. You can't paint it, girl. Can't do that. The positive thing that's happened this week. Let's see. You know what? Oh, I actually scheduled her, Miss Ma'am's, her surgery coming up here soon. Hopefully. I don't need no extra grandbabies running around here. Lord knows, girl, trust.
They're cute, but they're pain in the ass.
Say hi, mama. Say hi.
Oh, look at the little baby. Oh.
That's
All right,
his friend
big
thing.
question. Oh, you
Huh?
already answered it. Ericka, answer your own question.
Ooh, you gotta go first.
Oh, fuck. Shit, I was hoping you'd forget.
The masses are waiting.
Oh, well, Ericka, clearly, me and Ericka work from home right now on the phone. So she already knows when I'm going to say what I'm going to say, what I'm going to fucking say. So this week,
But you say it already.
oh my God, this fucking week has been horrible. I just went into a new department, which is called retention. And so I'm getting all the fucking assholes that want to cuss me all day long and call me names and, cancel their services. And
Oh, you're the one I like to call into talk to.
being called a bitch and a piece of shit all day. So my week has been pretty eventful.
So you're the one that I call into when I call people.
It was
You
a bit
have
much. Yeah, Antonio. So it was. I don't know what pulled my ass out of that negativity would have to be this talk show, knowing that this was coming up on Wednesday, to be able to chat with the girl and get out of the bullshit for an hour. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Ericka?
So one good thing that happened to me this week that will enrich my life going forward is I got a promotion today.
Oh wow, really?
Yes.
Yay!
So as of the 20th of this month, I will not be on the phones. I will be working with our leadership team as a chat associate, helping associates out and taking escalated calls if they need to, if they can't be de-escalated.
Amazing! Congratulations! Wow, that is so awesome. Shit, I wish I could get out of retention and go into escalations. I miss escalations. I love that. Shelby says, "Yay, Ericka!"
Yay me!
That's so freaking amazing. All right, Mikka, take us away with our next subject, girl.
So, I'm going to turn the title a little bit here, and I want to talk politics.
Ooh, shit.
I'm gonna go with this. I'll be right back.
And in light of this very, very, very weird election year, we're kind of limited on what's happening because we know we're going to get Biden, and we know we're going to have Trump. And I know Trump is trying to pull every little card he can right now to win this election. But I've also heard that if he doesn't get the poll numbers up, he's willing to drop. So what do you think of that, Victoria?
My God.
Drop him already. Drop him.
Well, we all know I'm not a fan of Donald Trump, but we also know that I'm the one out of all four of us that happens to be a Republican. So I will say this. I am deathly ashamed of our president. I did not vote for him. Stop looking at me like that. Stop looking at me like that, bitch. Stop looking at me like that.
Did she just say what I think she just said?
Yeah, but listen, let me go ahead and explain myself so y'all understand. So I am a Republican. They would call me or you could call me a conservative liberal. I believe I have a lot of beliefs on both sides.
Independent.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. If you put me in a box, I'm one of those people that doesn't like to be put in a box. So when it comes to asking what is my what I'm voting, whatever the fuck I want to vote, you know.
Right.
I don't feel that I need to vote Republican. I don't feel that I need to vote Democrat. I'm gonna vote who I think is going to be the best president to take us. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Right now, in this election that we're in right now. I think it's a fucking joke that Kanye West is announced his election. I think
I am through with that.
to not be able to fucking do this anymore. After
He's
Trump,
running.
no more.
He's running Democrat, so it'll take votes from Biden.
Yeah.
It is a ploy.
Yeah.
That's all it is. But the great thing about it is, if you know anything about election law, he can't get on the ballot in a handful, or he can get on the ballot in maybe a handful of states.
So here's the good question, Mika. There's two people on the ballot right now. There can be an independent written in. As of right now, who the hell are you voting for?
I would probably vote for Biden.
What about you, Ericka?
Definitely Biden, because he sure as hell is not Trump.
And what about you, Unique?
I'm writing myself in. I'm going to vote for myself.
You know what? I love that you did that. Even though that is very funny, and it is, I actually have said my vote this year is going to be on an independent. I'm going to write somebody in. I'm actually going to write in Pete Buttigieg. That's going to be my write-in, because then I can say I was not a part of this stupid-ass election, bringing two people who have no business being in our country.
I'm going to vote.
Because isn't that kind of what happened last time?
Yes.
People were still Bernie in, and Hillary lost to
You're
Trump.
right. You're right. Okay, I don't mean that. What I do mean, though, is if there's a fucking third, I don't care who the hell it is. If it's Hillary Clinton's fucking underwear, I'm voting for it.
Girl. No, ma'am.
It would be better than what we have now.
What is wrong with her?
Listen, I'll tell you. When it comes to being a gay Republican, it really is hard. I don't know if any of you are aware, but there's a lot of judgment against you. But just know that my politics for gay rights and for a woman's choice over her own body is the same views that you guys have. I just think that our government could be a little smarter and stop giving away free money to everybody all the time and making our economy broke, so that our babies that are coming into this world can have some money when we are old and dead. And that's what I think about, is my niece being able to retire. Oh, bitch, don't you do it. You do it, bitch, don't do it.
On that note, how can you talk about money when it's a majority of Republicans that are blocking a pay increase for minimum wage?
Yeah, I can't argue that point. I can't argue that point, because I feel the same way you do about it. I think that it's bullshit. I think that the government in general, both sides, needs to come together and make a fucking decision that benefits Americans.
These politicians are making $179,000 a year, and average Joe Blow down the street can't even make $30,000.
Exactly.
So there is a mess up in the money situation in our economy and our government. Like,
and
our
know what it is? It's folks don't know how to act.
None of our politicians had money. None of our politicians, they worked for free because they believed in what this country stood for, and we need to get back to that.
Amen to that.
I agree.
Amen to that.
The only way we're going to do that is to get people.
You want to talk about a good president? Let's talk about John F. Kennedy, ladies.
You know what?
He makes my mouth
scandals, but he was still, to this day, he's one of the first presidents outside of Lincoln and Washington you hear. When you ask who is the most famous president, those are the three first names that come up: Washington, Lincoln, and Kennedy.
Yes.
Now, if you want to talk about a good presidential candidate, the youngest Kennedy that's in the Senate now. If that boy would say, I would vote for him.
But he flooded my basement.
No, he floods.
I wish I was alive back in the day.
So Antonio says it's time for reform the housing institution. I absolutely agree with that.
I agree.
Antonio, I'm going to reform your house in a minute.
It's time to reform the House. It's time to reform the Senate. It's time to reform the presidency. The entire Congress needs a whole reset.
Start over.
Yep. I agree.
We need Joe Blow down the street to take a House representative seat. We need Joe Blow down the other street to be on Senate. That way, it's real people who know what they have to do, what happens on a daily basis.
Yes.
These
I
people in
agree.
Washington know.
So we have like 15 minutes left. There's like 2 more subjects that we should get in real quick. Real quick, I want to take a few minutes to let all of us say a little something about. Well, before I go there, I do want to talk about. I don't know if y'all watched the news today, but in my city that I live in Coeur d'Alene, Lake Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, there was 8 people that were found dead 2 days ago. There was a plane crash in my lake. I actually watched it happen. So I want to say a short prayer for that poor family and all those kids that have been found today in the wreckage.
Three or 2 or 3.
There has been 6 so far found, a total of 8 missing, but 6 have been found and 3 of them were children.
That's
I know.
so sad.
To be honest with you, like talking about it, literally almost puts me in tears right now. Like it's so it just makes you cherish every single moment you have on this earth with every single person that you have.
Yeah,
Every person.
I
Because you
agree.
don't know when it's the last moment. And with that being said, I want to tip my hat off to and say to Breonna Taylor and George Floyd and to every person that has lost their lives in these riots, in these horrible days that we're in. We love you and we are so sorry that this has happened to you. Your life was cut short, and for everybody here that knows you and loves you, we celebrate your life every single day, and that will not stop. Mikka, you got something to say, honey?
So I live on a schedule. I wake up every morning and have my coffee. I watch my news. And I've caught myself not wanting to watch the news because I can't emotionally. I can't. Like it's too much between the COVID and the riot. And I saw a story about a man that was pinned against a tree, and they were talking about getting a noose. And
Yeah.
it's just I can't believe. Because we all kind of grew up, we're all about the same age. So we were all raised in the same era. And I wasn't raised to believe these things. I was raised to love one another. It didn't matter what color their skin was, what language they spoke.
Yeah.
Love is love. You love each, and we all bleed. It's the same. But
Right.
it kills me to see this and to see these videos of these people who just don't care.
At all.
It breaks my heart.
Nobody.
I can't.
I know, Mikka. I know it's too much. It's too much. Ericka?
I don't watch the news just plain because for the same reason that Mikka doesn't. It's too depressing.
Right.
There is too much shit going on that does not need to be going on.
Right.
We need to be taking care of each other, not hurting each other. We need to make sure that everybody is loved.
Amen. 100%. We need love in this world. We have way too much bullshit.
And a lot of it.
Unique, honey. How do you feel?
Yeah. Yeah, that's how I feel. I don't watch news. For like the other said, for that reason. But on top of the fact, I heard from a real good friend of mine today that they were at their apartment complex, and there was a guy there that had a machete, like really losing his mind. And not only did the counselors there, but the property managers had called 911 on more than one occasion at the same that day, and not one officer responded to that call. Not one.
Oh my God.
And I mean, property manager called, the case manager called, even people that lived there called on this guy that had the machete. you know, and not one officer responded. That right there shows me that apparently to you know, our lives don't matter because the cops are just protect and serve us. Protect and serve. That's what they're supposed to do. But what are they doing? They're only protecting their ass. They're not protecting nobody else right now. And, you know, and it scares me because now, knowing, hearing that could happen anywhere.
Right.
You know, and if the cops ain't gonna show up, what would happen if he would have, you know, stabbed somebody, or, you know, they're gonna have more massacres on their hands, all because they are too damn out of their head to answer a call.
Right.
An actual real life emergency, and they just blew it off like it wasn't nothing. You know?
Right.
And so with me being, you know, I live by myself and I don't have, you know, my family or anything up here, you know, it scares me because now as it is, I don't even live on my house anyway, but that just makes me not want to walk out of my doors anymore, you know, without having somebody else there, because what if something was to happen, you know? And so I'm after hearing all that and seeing this stuff on TV, I try not to watch the TV because that's a bunch of malarkey. They take stuff and spin it, and who knows what's going to happen. So watching the TV and hearing about that stuff only makes things worse for us.
Right.
You know,
no, you're right. You're right.
We never know what's real, what's not, what's the truth, what's fully true, what's false. You know, so I try and avoid the news as much as possible, especially right now during this pandemic and with all this what's going on.
Oh,
you know,
Lord.
It's too much. It's too much, and especially someone that is depressed all the time, and you watch more depressing stuff, that just puts them back in a bad mood or a depressed mood, and there's more problems right there. You know, so. But on a lighter note, if anybody out there needs, you know, someone to talk to, or, you know, depression wise, and or I have found a list of numbers that I found online that for a bunch of everything from eating disorders, depression, addiction, you name it. I've got the numbers. So if you need those numbers, contact me and I will get you the numbers that you need. I will also post them on my Facebook page, just in case, so everybody has them. But, you know, until I post it, if you need the numbers, get a hold of me and I will get those numbers to you. There's not anything that, you know, whatever you need, let me know.
Unique. Post the numbers in the comments below as well.
Yeah. Yes.
I'll probably post them to everybody's page because I can't comment for some reason. I don't know why. But I will tag everybody in our pages. That way, everybody can go to our pages and find them that way.
Okay.
That way, we all have them.
I'm a message.
So, guess what time it is, ladies?
Oh, it's time for me to go. I have to.
In Vogue?
No. It's actually time for our weekly group number. And this one is themed towards the theme this week. So here we go, ladies. Are you ready? I bet you
I know what it is.
Excited to find out what I picked.
Why do I ever feel I know what it is?
Well, any smart bitch will know what I'm putting on. All right, ladies, here we go. And everybody just sing.
So I can't hear it.
We can't hear it, girl.
We can't hear it.
You can't hear it?
No.
Really?
Play it off your phone.
I've got it. Hold on. I got it. Don't you worry, bitches. I got it. But I bet you, well, play along. I'm sure you probably know what it is. But here we go, ladies. Are you ready?
Yeah. I had to run to the bathroom. Ooh, shit.
Here we go. Oh, Lord have mercy. Set your luck out. Okay, here we go.
Girl, what's the name of the song?
It's coming. It's coming. Calm down, lady. Trying to get rid of the talking part.
I call this.
Now they're serious. It's not a joke. I know this sounds stupid, but they're here now. They're right over there. Thank you. For that mom. I put a spell. In 300 now the witches and there's hell. On you.
Yeah! You know, a little hocus pocus for that ass. Just to get y'all excited about some Halloween coming up.
Yes.
So, with all that being said, would you ladies like to take a moment to say your goodbyes before we head out of here?
Well, first, thank you guys so much for watching this week. I love coming on this show every week. It's always so fun. It's laid back, but we get to talk about serious things, and we still get to be ourselves. And thank you all for taking that moment and taking the time to be a part of this with us. I love you all so much, and I can't wait to see you next week.
Ericka?
Thank you all so much for joining us this week. We've had a couple of heavy hitter topics this week. We still want to know your opinions, so please continue to post them. Let us know what you think. We will respond. Again, thank you so much. We love you. If you ever need anything, all 4 of us are here for you. We love you.
Unique?
Well, thank you guys all for showing up and joining us this evening. Make sure you guys are staying safe. Make sure you're washing your hands. Doing our social distancing, doing our part to keep this country or getting our country back to the way it was. Do your part. Make sure we're staying inside. Wear your mask when you need to. If you have to go out, only go out in emergency if you have to. But other than that, like I told you guys earlier, I do have those phone numbers. I will be posting them on all 4 of our Facebook pages. So if you need those numbers, go there. You will see them. It's for anything and everything. I was amazed that I actually found it all on one sheet. Trust me. But other than that, you guys have a safe night, safe week, and we would look forward to you guys joining us this weekend, probably. I got ahead of myself there for a minute.
I was like, what the fuck just happened?
I was gonna talk about Saturday, but yeah.
No, you didn't get ahead of yourself, honey. Go right ahead.
Oh, okay. So make sure you guys also join us on Saturday. You all 4 of us will be there. It will be our Diamonds and Studs show. At shut up, man. Sorry, shut up. Girl, I had like 300 things going to my head at once, so it just came out. 7, 8, 9, 10, right? No, it's 5 o'clock, right?
5 o'clock p.m.
Okay.
Pacific Standard
5
Time.
Eastern, 6 Mountain, 7 Central, 8 Pacific.
What?
Yeah.
Eastern.
Okay.
6
It
Mountain.
happens sometimes.
Please
Control.
forgive me. She's had one too many sips of her alcohol.
Yeah, I know. These lights are getting to me. Trust me. The lights.
But bitch, everybody please take note that Miss Unique
It's hot.
and wonderful lighting she has.
I know. Thank you. Thank you.
And of course,
Victoria.
it's Mikka's lighting on the way. I can't wait.
Oh, I can't wait.
All
Either.
I know is this heat is getting to me. I'm forgetting things.
All right. So with that being said, everybody, we love you. Do not forget to have a safe week. Please wash your hands. Use hand sanitizer, social distance. And all 4 of us will be here waiting for you next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We love you.
Well, what are we talking about next week?
What are we talking about, Unique?
You know what? I think we should talk about addiction.
I like
it is a major thing that people are struggling with right now, and especially during this pandemic. That would be probably one of the best things to talk about. So that way, if somebody needs help, we can get them to help. So
I like that.
Join us for addictions next week.
Tune in next Wednesday, everybody, for addiction is the main topic, and chill with the girl, Mikka, Unique. So we love you. Peace and love. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Hugs and heels.